Hello, everyone. This is One Day at a Time podcast. It captures the challenges we face daily and what we learn or not learn from it. My name is Uche Agbai, or Sensei Uche. Welcome.
We are the wind in the sails of your business. We are your compass. Chart your course towards your targets. Africa Business Radio. Towards a profitable Africa.
Hello, everybody. My name is Uche Agbai, and this is the One Day at a Time podcast. To be honest, I can't believe I'm doing this. It is something that I have been fighting because of the experience I want to share with everyone spread across how many episodes on this podcast with you guys, with you. So it is very, very, very heavy. It's a very heavy experience of mine. And that's why I have been, running away from it. But hey, I'm doing it now, and I will do it to the best of my ability to carry every single one on, and also to help you understand what I was going through one day at a time, because that was the way I approached the treatment of cancer, Hodgkin's lymphoma, that I was diagnosed with in 2017. Yeah, 2017. And I went for treatment, came back, and it was a successful treatment. Okay, so I just want to take you guys through that journey. Who am I? I am a media personality in Lagos, Nigeria. I've worked with 3 radio stations back here: Classic, City, Hot FM. I host events also as an MC. I'm a superstar hype man. Yeah. Oyana. And I'm just a fun-loving person. I like to live life on the positive side, and I like to live life deliberately. Okay? So this is it. Welcome to the One Day at a Time podcast, and hopefully you would learn a thing or two as you join me on this journey. Thank you guys so much. When I come back, I'll be talking to my guest for today. She's a special human being. The episode today is titled Ear Infection. Yeah, so I'll be talking to my guest. I'll introduce you to her when we come back. Okay, guys? Stay tuned! Hi guys, welcome back. It's the One Day at a Time podcast. My name is Uche Agbai. In the media world, I am known as Sensei Uche. My guest today is Adeola. I knew her as Akinwande, but her last name has changed. So right now, she is Adeola Oyesanya, and she is a pharmacist. She's more than a pharmacist to me, she's a friend. She's the one that saved my life. But she's a pharmacist. She's been a pharmacist for over a decade. In 2019, she earned a master's degree in public health from the University of Lagos. She has worked with Health Plus and other community pharmacies. And also, she has volunteered with the World Health Organization and several public health agencies. Adeola Oyesanya, it is good to have you on this episode. How you doing, Adeola?
I'm very well, thank you, Uche. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, so like I said, your last name has changed. How is that part of life for you right now?
Oh my. It's been beautiful, right? It's been beautiful. I think that was the summary. It's been awesome. Thanks. Okay.
So marriage is beautiful. I will join your beautiful, the beautiful people's club.
We're waiting for you. We're rooting for you.
Okay, so as we go into this, Adeola, can I call you Adeola for the purpose of...
perfect. I love it.
Okay.
Thanks.
So, yeah, Adeola is what I'm going to be referring to you as. For the purpose of this podcast, just how long have you been practicing? I know I said over a decade, but, what made you go into pharmacy? Everybody else or some other people would think, let's go into something else. But why? Why pharmacy? Why that? Did you have a childhood dream? Like, okay, you saw yourself, attending to people, putting together chemicals, coming up with scientific ways to solve the problems that's why disease and all that. Why pharmacy?
Oh, thank you, Uche. So, I mean, when you mentioned childhood, I smiled because if I want to go back to childhood, I wanted to be everything, really. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be a banker. I wanted to be an accountant.
I wanted to be an FBI agent. Go on.
Almost anything, because
Nice.
I was good at many things, right? So, but one thing I really wasn't getting to like was my physics classes. Yeah, I never liked
yes.
maybe I didn't have good teachers and all that. So anything that would have to do with physics, eventually I was drawing out of it. So it wasn't engineering for me. So it was probably medicine or pharmacy, just anything to save lives. And when I was young also, I'll have this fascination. I just want to cut open something, look inside. Can I help?
Really?
I'll pick up a frog. Can I help? What is wrong with you? I knew how I have to do something that has to do with human life and helping out. So pharmacy came easier.
Okay, fantastic. By the way, I was also a science student in secondary school, so I understand the whole physics thing. Physics was frustrating. I did well in bits in further maths, but chemistry and physics, oh hell no. It was really bad for me.
Oh.
Okay, so the title of this episode is ear infection. And ear infection is something that is common with the line of work that I do. Working with radio, I'm wearing headsets. Actually, I started buying my own personal headsets a long time ago before I fell ill. But, you know, working with radio, I'm listening to loud music, I'm wearing headsets with different people, I'm sharing that. Is ear infection a common thing when it comes to, you know, your practicing as a pharmacist? Is it something you see every day amongst everyday Nigerians, despite, you know, their field of profession or what? Is it common?
Yes, it's pretty common, right? So it's not just in your own field.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. I'm sorry. This is getting a bit emotional for me. Remembering.
Yes, I know. No, let the emotions come out. I'm still trying to hold mine. I won't lie. I'm trying to hold it because it's like I said, I've been running away from this, but now I have to do it. Okay, good.
Goodness. All right, so let me take it slow. One day at a time, right?
Yeah, one day at a time.
One moment at a time, even right now. All right, so it's pretty common. It's not just in your field. I mean, there are different kinds of ear infections, right? There's one called otitis externa. The common name is swimmer's ear. And it's not just for swimmers. I mean, when people even come out of bathroom and you do not mop your ears, you do not dry your ears well, you might get that ear infection. And also for children or even adults, you know, because you have your ear and nose and mouth connected. So usually we hear about ear infections almost every time. It's pretty common.
What's the best way to clean the ears, by the way? Because after I went for treatment, or when I was, you know, out of the country in Istanbul, the ear, nose, and eye specialist, you know, said that using cotton buds or what you call that cleaning ear, it's not good. Said that your ear naturally has wax that cleans itself.
Yes, so the ears are self-cleansing. One other body organ that I know that is self-cleansing is the vagina. The ears are self-cleansing, right? Okay. So you don't need to unnecessarily probe into your ears and try to clear the wax. As a matter of fact, the wax you are trying to clear out are the God-given soldiers, let me put it that way.
Yeah.
They trap dirt and bacteria from getting in. So when you clean them off, it's almost like you left your borders open and then you allowed anything to just get in.
Okay. So with our relationship, you know, pharmacist to patient, I guess. Yeah. I was going to say customer. You see, as business, don't spoil people here for Nigeria. Everybody's a customer. So pharmacist to patient. I know that I had been having ear infections years before I fell ill. And I'd been coming to you, you know, as in I always came to you. I remember there was always a particular drug that you prescribed that I'd gotten used to. So, and I just say ear infection. You just, you know, you're like, okay, use this, and that's it. That's how it works. But this one was different. You know, I kept coming back after a period of, I think it was 2-3 months. We kept going back and forth. Ear infection. What was going through your mind all that while?
Okay, so like you mentioned, there's the business part of almost anything right? There's the business part of it. But one good thing is, okay, as pharmacists, as doctors, as healthcare professionals, we swear an oath. And the oath is to prioritize the patient.
Okay.
I mean, That is basically the summary.
Even in Nigeria, now, really?
Yes.
Does every pharmacist live up to that oath?
Yours come first, ideally. In a sense, like you come first, really. So, and to say the truth, when you get some pricey drugs or pricey brands, they really work better.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of research that's going to them. They make sure they follow the standards. When you do a proper analysis, you find out that what they claim that it contains is exactly what it contains.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm digressing now. I remember my first practical in my 200 level pharmacy school. My first practical was analysis of paracetamol tablets. We got different brands, and some of them you'll be amazed at how many. 500 milligram was way so far away from the 500 milligram that I claimed to have. And so some people would take these 2 tablets and say, I just use paracetamol, I don't feel better. But when I use so brands, I'm trying not to mention brands now. I feel so all right. And that's because they are premium brands. So now back to your question. Those times used to come in, if I had given, or when I had given this brand and this brand, I knew that it would work. It may cost some more. It may be more profitable for me in the pharmacy, but at that moment, it was what worked well for you that I was targeting. And I think I remember also, for ear infections, and that's another thing with going to a pharmacy. Now, if you think antibiotics are antibiotics, which is one of what many people believe now, I can just use 1 capsule of this, 2 tablets of this, or go to a chemist store and they just cut 2 tablets of this, cut 2 capsules of this and give me, and I'll be fine. It doesn't work that way. Bacteria are different. They have different strains. They have different classes. And in the same way, antibiotics or antibacterials to work for different groups of bacteria.
Okay.
Now, for your ear infections, then, there are different classes of antibiotics that work for them. So when I had given this, and because we didn't run a test, we didn't
run a test. Yeah.
We didn't run a test yet at the beginning yet. When that failed, then we went to another one. And so what was running through my mind was, we have tried this class, these are like the classes that work well for it. What could be happening again? I was puzzled also. I think, ask your next question.
No. Of course you were puzzled, because I was the one that, was going through it. And I remember telling you at some point that my hearing was fluctuating. Yeah, my hearing was fluctuating. Of course, it was itching inside and some pain. But that fluctuation was what, made me inside my head like, what the hell is happening? Because that was new. That was new through all the times that I'd had ear infections. That was the first time. So, for everybody listening, Adeola is the one that convinced me to go see a specialist. Yeah, you were the one that I said, Uche, go see a specialist. Why? Why did you say it then?
Okay, so the symptoms of regular ear infections, let me use the word regular ear infections, unfortunately overlap with symptom of ear cancer or any other complications that may come. The same complaints you have are the same complaints someone who has even a viral ear infection that may resolve by itself. It's almost the same complaints they will have at the beginning, but over time the viral ear infection might go, or if it's more complicated or if there is a growth, it will just persist for a long time. Now, complaints of what you mentioned, imbalance, dizziness, headache, which you may trace to a particular spot or not, you just know that it might be buzzing. Some may make a regular loud noise, something you hear regular, maybe the honk of a car, and it looks like someone just was drumming gong on your head, and it just gets overly amplified, and if it didn't resolve easily, then there may be more to it.
But were you thinking there was more as at that time?
Yes,
you were?
I really thought there was more. Yes, but maybe I didn't think as far as cancer.
Okay. So as far as what were you thinking as far as what was?
Okay, that may just be an infection of the inner ear, and you may need syringing but I knew that I didn't have the device to check. So I knew that you might need 2 things. You would need 2 things. I mean, an ENT specialist, that's an ear, nose, throat specialist, to use their device. It's called an otoscope, right? To check into the ear and see what is happening. And if they don't see something, or if they do, then they may go on to either syringe, that's clear out or remove pus or fluid in the ear, or take a biopsy, take a sample, and then examine it.
Do you know that I didn't go see that specialist immediately? Yeah, because I
think one challenge you had also, Sorry, I think one challenge you had also, you're the regular fine Lagos guy, busy.
You say regular fine Lagos guy.
You're not registered to any hospital, right?
I don't like hospitals, but yeah. Go on.
I know. And it's most likely that you wouldn't be registered with any hospital. So I knew that would even be a challenge. How am I going to sit with all these geriatric or pediatric groups and then queue from morning to night just to get a number and then go back just to see a doctor and then go back for a test? I knew that was going to be a challenge. So I think I suggested to you to go to the military hospital, I think it was.
Yes, it was the military hospital that you asked me to go to. As in, you were very specific with that. And that was where I started my relationship with my now surgeon and my doctor. But that's for another episode. Okay. That's for another episode. Okay, so yeah, I went for that. And lo and behold, I can't remember when I told you, but I think I told you the results. I gave you the results.
You told.
Yeah, so telling you the results, was it like, okay, you know what, it confirmed my worst fears, but you just told me that you were not even thinking as far as that, or you were thinking it was syringing and all that. But when I told you the results, were you like, okay, yes, possible that it could lead to that, you know, because of all the symptoms that I had been complaining about? Be as emotional as you want.
Yeah, okay. I remember clearly one day, Uche, you came into the pharmacy and you were bleeding from your nose.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I knew that there was more to it, but I didn't see that far. But like I always say, it's best you know what you are fighting, so you are armed properly to fight it. If we hadn't known, we just would have kept trying this and that, and you might have gone to another pharmacy thinking, I think they just don't have it here, let me go somewhere else. Yeah. It's not just confirmed my worst fear, but it was also comforting in a way. Now we know where we are heading, and we know what to fight, you know. If you have the right arsenal, then you know how to face your enemies, right? Or rather, if you know the enemy that is attacking you, you know how to gather your arsenal and to fight it, right? So it confirmed my worst fears, but it also gave me hope that now we know where to face.
You had hope?
We know what to do. Yes, which I have hope. I still do for anyone. Yes.
No, I know you to be that kind of person. Like, you are very positive. Nothing phases you. I know, of course, eventually something might phase people, but nothing phases you from, you know, the time that I've known you. And you know how to handle tough situations. You actually know how to just help anyone who's going through anything and panicking, you know, just calm down. And did you receive any special training apart from your training as a pharmacist?
I might get into my room. I might get into my room and cry. I might get into my room and pray. But at that moment, I mean, one who is down already needs someone to pull them up, right? So at that moment, they have to be a tough person. They have to be a strong person. I also have my down times, and I also need someone to hold me up, right? So two of us can't be down. Somebody has to stand up and lift the other person up. That's how life works.
Oh, that's fantastic. Okay, Adeola, want to go for a break? Guys, when we come back, we'll be talking more as regards ear infection. I'm hoping that you're loving this episode so far. Welcome back to the podcast, One Day at a Time, where I still have my guest with me, and she is a pharmacist, Adeola Oyesanya. And we've been talking about the episode titled Ear Infection, how this whole cancer ordeal started. And Adeola was the one, like I said earlier, that's convinced me to go see an ENT specialist, that's ear, nose, and throat specialist. And also, when I saw that specialist and eventually did the test, to be honest, I didn't do that test again. Like, the specialist was like, okay, go and do this test the next day or the 2 days after. I didn't do it. Like 2-3 weeks after, that's when I did that test, because, you know, in my head, I never thought it would have, you know, led to anything cancer. In my head, I was just like, guy, you're still going to go past this. You're just going to go somehow. Yeah, so Adeola was the one that initiated me. To be honest, I see you as the person that God used to save me, because if there was no early detection and if I wasn't told, I would have just been going back and forth, and I wouldn't have done anything. So I don't know if I've said it. I haven't said it, but thank you. Thank you so much, Adeola.
Welcome.
Okay, so let's continue with this. So in all your years as a pharmacist, have you ever had an experience like this where an ear infection led to a disease as severe as cancer or something else? Have you ever had any experience like this?
Apart from the books, no, not personally with anyone. For other infections, yes, but for ear infection, I think you're the first case. I've had to refer other people also if they've had, but maybe syringing would have been the most they would have done. Even I have had to go for a syringing before to clear my ears.
So you haven't, even in your practice, you haven't heard it from any other pharmacist or from, say that, okay, we had this patient or we've had this patient that has ear infection and then we asked him to go see an ENT. Stories like that?
It's not that it is uncommon, but I haven't heard it.
Amongst pharmacist friends, colleagues, really?
My circle, no, I haven't. Other infections or lumps, maybe lumps in the breast, or I just felt a node or something, and then you check and it was cancer, and they quickly removed it. Yeah, before it starts spreading. There are many cases of that. I even have friends. But for ear infection, no.
Okay, this is something I didn't even put down on my prep list, but after my experience as a pharmacist, so would you suggest that people of a certain age, considering that after I met my ENT specialist or the ENT specialist, he told me that people of my age, he's been seeing patients have cancerous tumors, especially in that nasal region, and they're of a certain age. I'm saying it as at that time, go on and go on and go on. So would you suggest that people go for random ear checks when they are of a certain age? Male, female, anybody?
Yes, early detection is key in cancer treatment. Yeah. And most times, like I said earlier, many of the symptoms that people encounter in general infections, ear infection, nose infections, overlap with the symptoms of cancer. So people don't get to, especially because they are part of the body where you can't touch and you can't feel a node, you can't feel a numb, you can't feel something irregular, it's just stuck inside. I really can't tell what is happening there. You just feel pain, you just feel discomfort. Early detection is important. And for middle-aged population especially, because we are strong and agile and, we just feel, no, it's reserved for older generations or the geriatrics. We don't pay so much attention to it. We feel that we are just fine. It will just go on its own. And unfortunately, painkillers or antibiotics seem to numb the symptoms for a while and we just carry on. Yeah. So early detection is important. For middle-aged active people, yes. Likewise, older people too.
Okay, so guys, you heard it, man. Go check yourself. Early detection is one of the things I believe saved my life, and Adeola was definitely part of it. Did you think I would make it? I know it's not a fair question. This is not a fair question because it seems like, like I'm trying to put you on the spot for numbers as regards this podcast, but that's not what I'm trying to do. Because, to be honest, I had my doubts. So at times I had my doubts as per coming back. To be honest, I had my doubts before I even left for treatment. So I didn't expect myself to come back.
So you were saying goodbyes already?
Yeah, I said goodbye to some people without them knowing. To a close group of, friends. I said goodbye to them without them knowing. They only got to find out after I came back. And then they were replaying some things and they were like, yo, this guy, you were actually trying to just ease yourself and ease us into you not being around anymore, just so that we won't, feel the pain and all that. But I did that. So it's not trying to put you on the spot, but did you think I was going to make it? Because believe me, man, the statistics as per survival of this thing is not very, very encouraging.
So the will to live is important, right?
Yes.
And the will to live is important almost for any ailment, no matter how critical. Once people become conscious, once they are out of coma, once they can open it, it's one of the things, and that's why we have psychotherapy. It's one of the things that helps people to heal fast also. And the same also works for cancer. That fighting spirit, right? And the fact that you know that people around you are rooting for you and they're expecting you back. I was more than 100% expecting you back. I would say this behind you any day, anytime. I just knew you.
Why?
I knew you survived. Not just because it was early, it was detected early, but I just had hopes. I don't know. Those are the ropes.
How has it affected you as a pharmacist and as a person? Because everyone around me has been affected one way or the other.
Yeah, so I think I would leave this advice for our listeners.
Okay.
So it's important that you just don't Google up your symptoms and say, when I have ear pain, what does this mean? Talking to a professional, talking to your doctor, your pharmacist helps a lot. Going forward, after that time, I wasn't holding back. You come in and I see that it's not just peripheral symptoms or infection, and we have tried this once or twice, straight you are going to the specialist. Even if it's not something very complicated, let's get it out of the way and be sure that, it's better to be safe than to be sorry.
Okay. It is a pleasure. It is really a pleasure talking to you. I actually thought I was going to struggle through this, but you have so much energy. That's another thing. It's like your energy, I can feed off your energy and I can feed off your positivity, and that is a great thing. I think that's why, I really enjoyed you being I'll still enjoy you being my pharmacist.
You're welcome.
Seriously, because the energy and the level of positivity that you exude as a human being is infectious, and it is what anybody needs, whenever they step into a pharmacy or a hospital or they need medical assistance. People like you do you love what you do? Let me even ask that question.
Oh yes, I do. Sometimes you long for more.
Yeah.
There was a time I was longing for more. I think that's when I went, not sometimes, you should long for more. I think Definitely. That's the ideal thing. And that's why I went into public health also. But I think my part was, I just felt like, I don't want to sit back in a pharmacy and have people come in. I really want to reach out to them. But I think wherever I find myself, whether I be in the pharmacy or I go out to meet people there, I really must make impact. It must go beyond the business part of it. There should be compassion. I'm meant to stand and just tell you, Uche, everything's going to be all right. But I know there were times I cried. There were times I went on my knees and prayed. There should be compassion in all that we do, right? And I think that thing really carried.
This country doesn't encourage compassion. That's the only bad thing.
Of the profit and interest, but NAFDAC is coming. This group is coming.
This guy, the economy has crashed. My money doesn't have value anymore.
My money must be made.
Yeah, money must be made, and people don't. But it is very refreshing to see that you still are who you are. The essence of who you are hasn't changed, despite the fact that the economy from 2017 and now is not the same. The dollar to a naira, that's how many percentage increase. So the medicines have gone up. The ones that you're like,
it's
cost more.
It's like 100% increases then.
More than 100%, man. Adeola, I want to say thank you so much for coming on this podcast. I'm really happy that we can end on such a lively note. I thought I was going to be crying. Thank you, Jesus.
My pleasure.
I know I will soon cry, Sha, but it's all right. I'll cry on another episode. Adeola, once again, thank you for coming through. Any last words that you want to leave there for me? Let me leave everybody listening. Now, you guys keep listening, but I need the last word. I need all the encouragement I can get, especially now that I'm talking to Adeola after such a long time. Yeah, any last words for me?
Would you please keep smiling? It was one of the first things that attracted me to you. You were the regular, fine, big Lagos boy, fine stature, tall, yes, so TDH, gone, original.
Oh yeah,
but
so
really there was just...
Say that again, for those in the back that didn't hear it.
For the people at the back to hear it. I know, right? But there was just that aura. You didn't have that aura of pride around you. I think it was one thing that helped me to break through easily also, it wouldn't matter eventually. I would still have to say what I wanted to say. But I think it helped me feel compassion. I think I even came to your flat once.
Yeah.
But you're just driving out, going to the hospital. It made me feel welcome, right? But you keep your positive spirit alive. I see you bringing people around to trying to get them to have fun and all that. Please continue. Do not stop. Life is to be lived and to be lived abundantly. Keep it up, please. And God bless your podcast. I really like this.
Thank you so much. I'm going to say this, Adeola, you keep being you. You are an amazing and awesome spirit. The essence, like I said earlier, that you have, it is something that everybody should strive to emulate. People should emulate this type, especially people in your field. It is really, really rare to find people in your field, in medicine, that have a genuine love for what they do and also a genuine connection with the people that they're trying to give medical service and medical advice to. So yes, Adeola, you are a superhero in my own book.
Thank you.
Definitely. And say hi to Mr. Oyesanya. I haven't met him.
I will.
But I know he's an awesome guy.
Thank you so much. There's a baby girl now too.
Oh, congratulations, Mama Oyesanya.
Thank you, sir.
Mama Oyesanya. Mama. Okay, and on that note, I want to say thank you to everyone that, took time to listen to the first episode of One Day at a Time podcast. The ear infection episode has kicked off in an amazing way. And I also want to say thank you to Africa Business Radio for giving me the opportunity to speak finally, even though it is still heavy. I'm just using light mood to cover everything up to speak about this. And I hope that my words and my detailed as much as I can experience of my ordeal, one day at a time, would help you go through life in a positive way with the same energy that Adeola has, exhibited today and, transferred to me once more. Will help you go through life with all that energy and positivity and love, knowing that life is for the living. Okay? Keep listening. We'll be back next episode. Yes. See you guys later. Bye.